This next executive order is about protecting America from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats. Again, crisis at the border, but it goes beyond that and it implicates other executive powers as well.
Yeah.
President Trump, if cartels are now going to be seen as foreign terror organizations, would you think about ordering U.S. Special Forces into Mexico to take them out?
Could happen. Stranger things have happened. We're thinking in terms of 25% on Mexico and Canada because they're allowing vast numbers of people. Canada's a very bad abuser also. Vast numbers of people to come in and fentanyl to come in.
When do you think you would enact those?
I think February 1st.
Are you planning on giving notice of that?
I think we'll do it February 1st.
25% on both, sir?
Sir,
On each.
On each?
this is an executive order.
I mean, this is quintessential Donald Trump. I think again the U.S. has very serious concerns about fentanyl, and he views the tariff as a tool to gain leverage over foreign countries to get them to do more to address fentanyl or the border crisis. But I don't. It's an interesting tactic. I think he certainly believes in it. I'm just skeptical that the way you get countries to sort of cooperate is by poisoning the well with the threat of really crippling, effectively economic sanctions that also hurt American consumers. I think that's the thing that needs to be reiterated here is that ultimately American consumers will bear the costs of these tariffs.
We're thinking about that too. We're talking about a tariff of 10% on China based on the fact that they're sending fentanyl to Mexico and Canada.
How soon on those tariffs?
Probably February 1st is the date we're looking at. For Mexico and China, we're talking about approximately 25%.
Date on the Gaza ceasefire?
That you wouldn't have a steel mill open in the United States right now. You wouldn't have one steel. Other countries are big abusers also. It's not just China. China's an abuser, but the European Union is very, very bad to us. They treat us very, very badly. They don't take our cars. They don't take our cars at all. They don't take our farm products, essentially. They don't take very much. We have a $350 billion deficit with the European Union. They treat us very, very badly. So they're going to be in for tariffs.
The United States imports about $1.5 trillion worth of products from these three countries. They're our three largest trading partners, and the U.S. also exports about $1 trillion every year to these countries. And so, American consumers would face higher prices from tariffs, but also if you're an exporter, if you're a small business that sends products abroad, you're going to face foreign retaliation. And on top of that, right, like the U.S., Mexico, and Canada have pretty tightly integrated supply chains. So the average car made in the U.S. or in the Mexico, Canada, U.S. zone tends to travel across borders up to 8 times. And so if you're imposing a tariff of 25% each time a part comes across the border, or if the whole automobile crosses the border, it's going to get pretty costly pretty quickly.
sobre los decretos, porque es importante referirse a los decretos que firmó ayer el presidente Donald Trump, quisiera mencionar lo siguiente. Al primero, que tenga la certeza el pueblo de México que siempre vamos a defender nuestra soberanía y nuestra independencia.
We heard the President's comments yesterday and the directive he has issued to examine the trade relationship between Canada and the United States while exploring the possibility of tariffs. But we remain confident in the facts. Canadian energy powers American manufacturing, businesses, and homes. Of America's top 5 trading partners, Canada is the only one with whom the United States runs a trade surplus in manufacturing. And Canada buys more goods made by Americans than China, Japan, and Germany combined.
We lose 300,000 people a year to drugs entering from Mexico. And if they don't stop this poison from flooding into our country, and they can stop it by not accepting it from China, and I'm doing the same thing with China, we're going to tariff the hell out of them.
Après l'entrée en fonction de la nouvelle administration aux États-Unis, il appartient plus que jamais aux Européens, et donc à nos 2 pays, de jouer tout leur rôle pour consolider une Europe unie, forte et souveraine. Une Europe attachée aux liens transatlantiques, qui sache affirmer aussi ses intérêts propres et les défendre, avec ses valeurs et ses instruments européens.
Ultimately, the U.S., in my estimation, our biggest problems are with China in the trading system. And I've always felt like the United States needs to be working with close allies who agree with us about the China issue to sort of put pressure on Beijing to force changes in their trade policy. And, you know, the EU is one of those trading blocs that certainly agrees with the U.S. So I just fear that this pushes the U.S. and the EU further apart. And I don't know if that pushes the EU more toward Beijing. But again, I certainly think Brussels has every right to be concerned, and people worried about the transatlantic relationship.
关于这个问题，我们多次表明了中方的立场。我们始终认为，贸易战、关税战没有赢家，中方始终坚定维护国家利益。
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.